All right, MCU fans, so buckle up. We're back in phase 2 of the MCU, and today we're talking about Thor: The Dark World. Yes, that one. The one people love to trash. The one that lives at the bottom of every MCU ranking video. But today I'm here to argue slightly, as it's not as bad as everyone says. In fact, weirdly, I kind of like it. Firstly, let's set the stage. We're coming straight off of the Avengers. Thor's just been part of saving Earth from an alien invasion led by his own brother. Loki is locked up in Asgard's fanciest prison suite. Thor is back trying to restore peace across the Nine Realms. And Jane Foster, well, she's been ghosted. The pressure on this sequel is massive. And honestly, rather than try to one-up the scale of the Avengers, the Dark World leans into a cosmic world building, family drama. For better or for worse, a very old school fantasy vibe. Now, let's talk about the villain, or villains. The Dark Elves, led by Malekith, played by the great Christopher Eccleston, under about 47 pounds of prosthetics. The idea here is solid. An ancient race from before light even existed, trying to plunge the universe back into darkness using the ether. It sounds epic on paper and in practice. Well, Malekith, unfortunately, he is one of the most forgettable MCU villains that we've had. He's basically the villain equivalent of wallpaper. But credit where credit is due, his henchman, Curse, the big horn guy, he is terrifying. There is absolutely something about that crushing of that stone, glowing red. This guy is nightmare fuel, and every time he's on screen, you really start to feel that threat escalate. And here's where the Dark World quietly becomes super important. We are introduced to the ether, which, as we know later on, is the reality stone. At the time, most casual fans had no clue of how big a deal this actually was. But this is phase 2's slow Infinity Saga setup. The stones are starting to appear, the cosmic stakes are growing, and Thanos is lurking in the background. And for all its flaws, the Dark World pushes the bigger MCU chessboard forward in a really meaningful way.
Witch! Where is the ether?
I'll never tell you.
I believe you.
Now, for me, this is where the movie shines. Again, Loki. This film gives Tom Hiddleston the perfect space to deepen Loki's character bond. And beyond that mischievous villain. When Frigga dies, his grief is raw. The scene where he shatters his illusions and trashes his cell is one of Hiddleston's best moments in the entire franchise for me. I know what it's like to lose a mum. And this grief, this pain is so critical, it plants the seeds for his later redemption and for Thor's own emotional spiral that continues all the way through to Infinity War and Endgame. Without Frigga's death, Thor's breakdown in Endgame, it doesn't nearly hit anywhere near as hard.
Oh, you come to visit me, brother. Why? To mock.
I need your help. But I wish I could trust you.
If you did, you'd be the fool I always took you for.
One of the best parts of this Dark World is honestly just watching Thor and Loki work together. The banter, the constant jabs, the uneasy alliance, it is absolute chemistry. And this is where you start to really love Loki as a character. He's not just evil anymore, he's wounded, cunning, charming, and of course unpredictable. Thor trusting him even after everything. That family dynamic, it carries so much emotional weight.
All yours.
Anyone else?
Now let's talk about the action. We open with that Vanaheim battle, a fun, colourful fight that feels ripped from a fantasy comic. The escape from Asgard, visually awesome. Flying skiffs, the dogfight over a rainbow bridge, that stuff is really fun. And the final battle in London. Yes, of course it's chaotic with portals opening up between the realms. And yes, the laws of physics kind of take a bit of a nap here. But honestly, it's creative, it's goofy, it's fun, and it gives us some of the most inventive visuals in the MCU up to this point. Now, let's be fair. Thor: The Dark World has plenty of issues. So Malekith is criminally underdeveloped, especially with the actor that they had. The humour can feel forced at times, and Darcy's comic release feels very 2013. The plot is thin, essentially a big cosmic game of keep it away from him. But even with all these flaws, I just can't bring myself to hate it. Because the stuff that works really works. So looking back now, with hindsight, the Dark World is way more important than it got credit for. The Reality Stone enters play. Loki fakes his death and takes Odin's throne, setting up Ragnarok, one of the best.
Thank you, Father.
No. Thank you.
Thor's emotional foundation is laid for his complex arc going forward, and even Endgame has major callbacks to this movie. Remember the time heist? The film's importance to the Infinity Saga is absolutely undeniable. So here's where I sit with it. Thor: The Dark World is a weird one. It's flawed. The villain is flat. A lot of Marvel villains are. The tone is uneven, but the world building, the Loki arc, and the emotional stakes give it more weight than people give it credit for. Of course, this is not Thor Ragnarok, but it's also not the disaster that some people claim it is. For me, it's a strange, enjoyable, important 3-star MCU film. So, now it is your turn. Does The Dark World deserve all the hate, or are you like me and you're secretly kind of fond of it? Drop your thoughts below, hit that subscribe button, keep on smashing. Next up, we have got Captain America: The Winter Soldier. We are going to talk about this because, yes, it's good. I think it's overrated. However, as always, keep on smashing. Have an amazing day. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. I hope, again, we'll continue to improve all the time. But remember, guys, please follow the channel, like, subscribe, get involved in the comments. It really helps me out and it gives me more to talk about. So thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.